Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jasmina. Welcome to my channel, Jasmina Brozovic Astrology. Today, I have one of my teachers with me, Matt from Uranian Math Astrology. Hi, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you? Thank you for having me.
Oh,
It's
I'm
so
good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know you're busy. You're teaching so many new classes. So before we start, guys, if you really want a great teacher that you teach through your charts, the charts of participants, it's very different and special. I learned so much from him. So thank you very much for taking this time. We gathered today. I asked Matt to join me. We want to talk about Mars retrograde. So we're going to have Mars going retrograde. So every couple of years, Mars goes retrograde for a longer period of time, and then it kind of lights up that area of our charts. We're going to go through all 12 rising signs. But for now, in general, I think I have some dates. Let's see if I can. Okay, so do you see this? Do you see this?
yeah.
This
I see that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I took this from the Honeycomb website. It's for free. Everybody can take this. Honeycomb. They make journals for for astrological journals. They're very good. This is not a commercial. I'm not sponsored by them. I just love what they're doing. So here we see what's happening. So on September 4th, Mars went into Cancer. On October 4th, he will enter pre-retrograde shadow at 17 degrees of Cancer. That's very important degree. So everybody who has any planets near there, like my Venus is there on 16th. So it's going to be very important. Then on November 3rd, he's going to move to Leo. Station to go retrograde at 6 degrees Leo, another important degree. On December 6th, then moving in Cancer in retrograde on January 6th, leaving going directly on February 23rd next year, again at the 17 degrees of Cancer, and finally leaving Cancer on April 17th when he goes back to Leo, and leaving his shadow at May 2nd. So we have this ongoing from September to May. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing for now. Uh, did I freeze? I froze,
Yeah,
right?
you see it was.
Okay. So until I unfreeze myself, Matt, now that we have this, tell us a little bit about Mars in Cancer and Mars in Leo. What are their characteristics?
Okay, so let's talk about that. So Mars in Cancer. So in astrology, it is said that like Mars does not feel comfortable in Cancer, because this is the sign of emotions, and this is the sign of ups and downs. Like it's a water sign, but it's more watery than Scorpio. So for that, Mars might feel kind of prevented in Cancer, but it is also a cardinal sign. And let's not forget that Cancer is a starter cardinal sign. So Mars still will have that power here, and Mars in Cancer will be pretty protective and
Yeah.
like especially over those they love, and Mars in Cancer will also be pretty like patriotic. They will usually love their hometown, home city, country, and they might also
Mhm.
have an interest in history, vintage, antique. So archaeology, for example, I often see that, or food sector. They might be into that. Mars in Cancer. So the lesson that they need to learn is to learn how to stand up for themselves. So they might stand up for others. They might stand up for family members, but they might not easily stand up for themselves when it comes to them. So this can be the overall the protective energy of Mars in Cancer, and Mars in Leo will be more like shiny. Like I think of Johnny Bravo with Mars in Leo. Remember the cartoon? So like look at me, I have muscles. So, but other than this, Mars in Leo will allow art, like
Mhm.
creativity, sports, especially. I often see great sports players have Mars in Leo, or singers have Mars in Leo. So it will be pretty creative. So they because like Mars in Leo needs attention. So then how can they get attention? By being like doing something, by being famous a little bit, or by
Hmm.
something creatively. So this also kind of boosts their motivation. Okay, so
Yeah.
briefly, we can,
Yeah.
talk that.
That's great. So yeah, so I think on collectively when we see with Mars in Cancer, we might lots of patriotism, lots of fighting for their homeland. So I think the wars that are going on now, a lot of people will be even more kind of triggered to fight for their homeland. Where do I belong? Where's my ancestry? I want to fight for where my roots are. So I think that might be highlighted in a way, as you mentioned. Yes, very very patriotic, protective Mars. On a personal level, with Mars in Cancer, I find people that have Mars in Cancer love to cook.
Mhm.
So it's we might be, even all of us might feel that we want to cook more at home, not to go out into restaurants. Unlike Mars in Leo, I think he likes to go out.
Yeah.
Sure, in the restaurants, and we see that difference. Yeah, so with Mars in Leo, we might collectively hear, as you mentioned, lots of celebrity news or something happening with celebrities, or just people who are seen in the public eye. So that could be very interesting. So when we have retrograde, Matt, so what is the opportunity here when we have this retrograde Mars?
Okay, so Mars will be about actions. So that will give us some time to revise our actions. And at the same time, like if we remember that we have Jupiter in Gemini, for example,
Yeah.
with multiplicity. So Mars will kind of slow things down. So think
Hmm.
carefully, act with your heart, kind of. So of course, this will change in which house Mars is transiting, but overall, that will help us act a bit in a structured way, in a way.
Yeah, that's very good. Yes, when any planet goes retrograde, it's a great opportunity to revise. As we know, everything that starts with revise, redo. Just think about, especially because Mars is about action. It's about our drive. It's our willpower. It's how we how we exercise, how we move our physical body, and what
Mhm.
drives it. What is our motivation, as you mentioned? What is our motivation? So this can be a very good opportunity to kind of slow down, as you mentioned. I always put this analogy. My dad always used to say to me, slow down, put your foot on a ball. You know how when you have a soccer player, you sometimes need to put a foot on a ball and look what's happening. Where's the goal? Where's the opponent? Sometimes. So this is the retrograde for me. Always, time to kind of put a foot on a ball and see what is our next move. What is going to be our next strategy, right? So that's going to be good. Okay, let's then go for to talk about, because it's going to be such a long period, as we
Yeah.
mentioned, from some September to May. We're going to have really opportunity to kind of redo some things. I know that Mars can also be, it's about anger and agitation and irritation. So when it's touching your personal planets like moon or sun or ascendant or angles, what do you feel in general? If it's touching with conjunction or opposition or a square, in Uranian
Yes.
astrology, that's all one, which is
Uh-huh.
excellent. This is the action aspect. So what would people, that might feel like the Cancerians, all the cardinal signs, right? So
Uh-huh.
Cancers, Capricorns and Libras and Aries, right, can be more irritated by this. What would you say? What would you tell them? As
Yeah.
an
So,
advice.
like that will make them a bit more cardinal, more starters. So that will
Hmm.
help them initiate things, like if they need to initiate things. But at the same time, there might be impulsivity, there might be recklessness, so there might be anger or rage. So it will be better to control those urges. So like, don't act upon rage or don't act upon aggression. So wait for calming down, and
Hmm.
positively it will activate your natal placements. Like it will help you to make use of them better, so you can
Mm.
direct that energy into using them, like by the themes of those planets.
Yes. So as we mentioned, anybody who has any, especially because of the retrograde, everybody who has any planets between 17
Uh-huh,
cardinal, right, and 6 fixed, which is
uh-huh.
Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and who's the fourth fixed sign? Leo's?
Aquarius.
Aquarius, yes. I'm sorry about Aquarius people. Yeah, so they could be, if you have planets or angles in there, it can be more affected. You're going to feel it more. I think you have something, right?
Yeah, I have a 6-degree Leo sun, 6-degree Leo sun. Yeah,
Well, that's actually a good opportunity for you to rebrand
yeah,
yourself, maybe.
exactly.
Hmm?
Exactly. Mars will just stop on my sun and then will go back. So it will be about representing myself in a different way, like evaluating my personality, how I show my personality, rebranding, as you say. So that will teach me something at the beginning of December. So I'm
Yes.
waiting for that time.
Yeah, yeah, that's exciting. I think it's a great opportunity for you to kind of really reshine, like,
Yeah.
re-emerge again,
Yeah.
start doing your rebranding, and then in next spring, you're like a new person
Yeah.
coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Uh, I want to try and share
Mhm.
solar fire so we can go through everything. Let me see how it goes. Just because it's crazy. Okay. Okay. So do you see this?
I see like screens on merged to each other, so I don't see the chart. So
You
I
don't
see
see
your,
the
yeah,
you don't see the chart.
no,
See, that's the problem.
yeah,
Anyway, we're gonna have to do it without a chart. Sorry guys, I was gonna show the chart, but it is what it is. We can still talk about it. It's gonna be good. So let's start with Aries rising. So for Aries risings, they're gonna have Cancer is in their fourth house, right? And Leo is in the sixth house. So tell me, what do you feel for Aries? Because it's going to be very prominent for them. They're cardinal signs. So,
yeah,
yeah. So tell me, what do you feel for Aries rising?
yeah. First of all, it is their ascendant ruler, so they will feel that
Yeah.
pretty personally. So last
Hmm.
summer there was the retrograde of Venus in Leo, for example. Venus is my ascendant ruler, so I felt
Mm.
that, like I felt that retrograde. So for Aries rising, so they might feel at first a bit. Prevent it. So it might feel like they want to do something, but people or universe don't let them do that. So
Mm-hmm.
they might feel a bit frustrated. So there might be some irritation at first. So they might guide that. They might reflect that irritation into their home. So they might be pretty obsessed with their home, like changing home, redecorating home, buying furniture, selling furniture, so revising the broken things at home. So they will be pretty busy at home. So because Mars causes action in the house that it transits. So for them, it will be home and family environment. So maybe like they want to sell their house and buy a new one. So like it will be better to revise everything during this period
Mm-hmm.
because there might be some postponements. There might be things that they expect
Mm.
differently when it comes to property and real estate.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Especially if you wanna, if you wanna renovate and you have a certain budget, and then you can go over the budget and you can spend more money than you thought, or maybe you start digging something and you feel, oh my God, now I have to, fix plumbing before I do this, just because some things can happen in that way. So that's a good advice. Yes, and of course, family feuds. So be careful not to get involved in the fighting with your family members. It can be even your parents, right? Even if you don't live with them, but it comes, fight can come from their parents as well, or just the people who you live in or share household. So just be more aware, and try not to, because you're very impulsive. Aries risings, they want to do everything now, and people might not agree with your energy, so you need to kind of slow down a little bit. Yes, that's a good.
Yeah.
But when it goes to Leo, the
Yeah.
little part of Leo,
Yeah,
that's a
so
boost of
for
creative energy, right? Tell us more.
exactly for a month, it will be about some creative energy. So they might feel like when Mars gets to Leo, so they might finally let themselves out of the house. So they might socialize, they might have fun, they might be out there. So this will also boost like sexual energy, creativity, and
Mhm.
then that will make them pretty more active. But then it will go back. So that will be about how you revise what you did
Mhm.
in the previous months. So again, they might have to revisit the themes of the forecast. So when it goes back to Cancer.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just going to repeat this for everybody. So we have in Cancer until beginning of December. So the whole December until January 6th, it's going to be Leo and then a Cancer again. Um, During the Leo period, the ruler will be Sun in Capricorn, actually, right? Of
Yes.
the of that Mars. So we are gonna, take everything more seriously than we thought, than we might usually. So all our actions, we're gonna take it really seriously and be more, on that side. So just a note. Yeah, great. So for Aries risings, you heard it here first. Awesome. Okay, Taurus risings. So they're gonna have Cancer is in their third house, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and Leo is in the fourth. Okay, so what topics can we expect for Taurus risings?
Okay,
Is-
so third house will be about everything. So third house is a pretty wide house. It can be about communication, siblings, media, teaching, projects,
Mhm.
and so on. So Mars will make them pretty busy in their lives, and I feel that too. So like they will be busy
Mm.
communicating, teaching, and traveling, commuting, and being connected to their inner circles, friends, cousins, like siblings. So that will be a theme. So again, we might see feud with siblings or cousins. So there might be something, there might be some kind of irritation with them, or like they might need to focus on their siblings as well. Like they might maybe help them like physically, or they might spend more time closely.
Mm.
So that can be about it. And then one thing that they should be careful with is driving. So there might be some
Mm.
type of road rage with Mars in the third house. So they might argue with strangers on the road. So this can cause something maybe bigger. So on the road, they should also be calm, like a Taurus.
Yeah, actually also a great opportunity to go, and if you own a car or any kind of vehicle or bicycle, to go and repair it or do service, because just to make sure that it works properly, so it doesn't, flat tires can happen and stuff like that. Also, it's a good opportunity in I think, to maybe reconnect with your siblings, as Matt mentioned, or your cousins if you didn't see them for a long time. Especially when it goes retrograde in January and February. Maybe after Christmas time, it's time to kind of, see where you are with your family and cousins and your, yeah, siblings. Also, neighborhood, local neighborhood. Maybe there are going to be some. I'm just thinking about, if you live in an apartment, your upstairs neighbor may be very noisy, so you get a fight with upstairs neighbor. Yeah. So think about, you might be more just irritated by all these people around you. So, but as Matt said, turn to learning, community, find a way to learn something or teach or expand. And during the Leo, the 1 month of in Leo, there might be some parties at home. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Home parties, like again, it's like Christmas time,
Yeah.
so there will be lots of home parties, gathering together, or like the decoration at home. So like Taurus risings, love to feel like proud of their house. So like they
Hmm.
will kind of show off their environment, I believe.
Oh, that was gonna be so nice. Yes. Well, I feel that you're gonna have some parties with your family as well this this winter. Yeah, excellent. Okay. For Gemini risings, we have this in the second house, house of money, and Leo is in the third. So what about money and Gemini risings?
So, like at first, that will increase their spendings because Mars in the second house will make you spend. So, but also it motivates you to earn more. So, money will come and go like this. So, for Gemini risings, so they should be careful how to keep that money like as like much as possible. Then they should be careful with impulsive spendings. So when like they are too happy, too bad, too angry, like too depressed, like they might end up doing shopping.
Emotional spending. So you have also Mars in, I forgot to mention, Mars in Cancer can be emotional eaters. People who have Mars in Cancer natally, they can really, when they're angry, they want to, then they eat a lot. So they need to be watch out for that. And this for Gemini risings, you're right, emotional spending, because I think, guys, this Mars in Cancer will be ruled by Moon, and Moon will change signs every 3 days, 2 3 days. So
Mhm.
imagine the actions of this Mars will be, very, it's going to be
Yeah,
really all over the place, really all over the place. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
also feel that eclipses are going to be important, right? Because it's ruled by eclipses. So this eclipse that we're having now on the September 17th and the one on October 2nd are going to be,
yeah,
the eclipse is going to rule this Mars. So there might be some fated events. What do you think about
yeah,
that? We forgot to
definitely.
mention. Mhm.
So the eclipse, the Mars will also be ruling the eclipse, as you said. Eclipses in Aries, Libra axis. So of course that will also be about the Aries, Libra, or eclipse axis. But for that, Mars will be in Cancer for a long time, as we mentioned. So for this, the themes of the eclipse might not happen immediately, but very in a very
Mm,
long time. So that will, like, eclipses, they are not like transits. So they don't just happen in one day and
yeah.
disappear. So the effects will last longer with Mars being back and forth.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Gemini risings, just to mention, when Leo, when Mars is in Leo for that month, a little bit of,
Yeah.
so it's going to be, some kind of celebration in your neighborhood, maybe, or with your siblings as well. So you can, you can find to do something that's going to be
Exactly.
fun. Yeah. Learn something new or something that makes you fun and excited. So
Yeah.
that would be
Or
good.
they might buy a car that they might show off, like
Ah.
sports cars, like Leo third house.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. I know some people, you know how we tell people always to look at their rising sign, sun sign, but in sun sign astrology, for all the Geminis, this would be a third house, right? If you look at, when you read the horoscopes in a daily mail. But it's interesting. Me and my husband, we're both Geminis. We are getting a new car. So anyway, it's so funny. So sometimes it goes like that. Okay. For cancers, so that's in their first house, and Leo
So
is second house. Very important. Go ahead, Matt.
So, that can be about anything related to them personally. It can be about first their physical appearance. Then Mars rules the first house, and Mars rules the face and head. So for that, first they should be careful with injuries and
Mhm.
health problems with the head. So they should kind of, if they are doing something risky, active risky, they should wear, wear helmet or things like that. And there might be some headaches with Mars in Cancer transiting here. So then it will also make them pretty active. So I remember the time when Mars was in Taurus,
Mm-hmm.
trans, transit my first house. So that made me do lots of things. And Cancer risings will do many things. Like they will not be able to sit still at even.
Mm-hmm.
So then they will be pretty motivated to change themselves and make some physical changes. And they will also be more outspoken. So Mars will cause energy there. So they will kind of learn, or they will have to stand up for themselves as well with Mars in the first house.
Absolutely. So physical activity, they're going to start, doing something. I wouldn't recommend any radical physical appearance changes just because it's retrograde. And then when it goes direct again, you're going to say, oh no, what did I do?
Yeah,
So just be careful. More physical activity for sure. And yeah, they can be more physical injuries, literally. Um, yeah.
and one more thing, like
Hmm.
Mars and Aries is related to the face, the first house.
Hmm.
So there might be, for example, some infections due to makeup products. So yeah,
Um,
face. So they should be careful with what they apply to their face. So their face might be prone to infection. So that can be.
ah, That's a good tip, Matt. That's very good. And when it's in Leo, it's in the second house. So everything that we said, even for Gemini's before, so you can be, spending more time,
Yeah.
spending more time, spending more money on luxuries and stuff. I think Cancer risings might be overdoing spending for Christmas. I think it's going to be
Mm.
during the Christmas time. They're going to just go over the top and buy too much and too expensive things. So just be
Yeah,
careful with Christmas shopping this year.
exactly. They will be too generous
Yes,
with
with gifts. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Even going on a like a Christmas party or New Year's Eve party, I think they might want to do it over the top and go somewhere glamorous and somewhere expensive. So interesting. Excellent. Okay, so for Leo risings, it's also going to be interesting. It's going to be their 12th house, but then Leo Mars is going to be shortly coming into their first house. So what do you think about Leo's risings?
Wow, that will be pretty. It will be time of rebranding for Leo risings and reappearance because I remember that in 2020 there was the retrograde of Mars in Aries, so that was in my 12th house. So back then, like after that retrograde ended, I came out as an astrologer. So that was in my 12th house. So that will kind of make them focus in on their mind, what they want to do in life, and like kind of they will deal with the blockages in their mental health or unconscious. So, for example, for me, I was anxious to go public, like at that time. So Mars was transiting my 12th house that it helped me like resolve my issues about visibility, for example.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that will be pretty on a psychological level with Mars transit in 12th house, and they might also like make themselves more angry. So they might talk to themselves and they might kind of "Ooh, I will do that, I will fight that, like I will say that." So they might make themselves even angry, or they might argue in their head. This can be possible, and then it can also cause some triggering because 12th house is the house of unconscious and mental health. So they will kind of be aware, they should be aware of what makes them triggered. So how or who or what. So that will be time for mental health analysis for Leo risings. Yes.
That's a good one. Yeah, I would suggest even if they want to find somebody to talk to, doesn't have to be a traditional therapist, but somebody spiritual because the 12th house is also the house of spirituality. So if you want to get a connection through with divinity in whatever that is for you, in a way, or find somebody or somebody you can find a healthy way to release that mental anger that you're going to have, right, in a healthy way. So try to do something. You can channel that energy in a positive way if it's possible. Yeah. So of course for the New Year's and everything, when Mars is going to be in Leo, I think they're going to really feel very confident. I think Leo rising is going to be boost with confidence for New Year's, and they're going to be like the shining stars at the parties and everywhere where they show up, right?
Yeah. And they will say that this is going to be my year. So uh, they will be pretty like energized.
Yeah.
Then it will go back to the 12 hours, and again, there will be the time of re-evaluation, and that will be like a break for them. So when Mars gets to Leo, so they will come back to the world and have fun, spend time with the family or friends, and then they will go back to their like inner world, let's say.
Yes, yes, it's not easy because when Mars goes through 12 houses, you mentioned you were also you had a lockdown, but still you were really just with you by yourself, and that Mars gave you energy, to dig deep what is happening in your mind. So this is going to be for Leo's risings for sure. Well, good luck because I think it's going to be maybe a shocker for them just because they're going to be boost of energy when Mars goes to Leo, and then they will need to slow down, and they're going to be like,
Mhm.
oh, why? Like the frustration, like a
Yeah.
frustration of now. Oh, why? So use this, embrace it, don't fight it. That would be for all signs. I think when Mars goes retrograde, it's for all of us collectively. It's just time to kind of stop, so we can be more frustrated because we want to go forward. We want to we want to push, but it's on a break. It's gonna be. I think that the pedals are gonna be on a break, not on a on a on a gas. So Okay, Virgo risings. So this is happening in the 11th house. No, yes, in the 11th house is Cancer, and Leo is going to be in the 12th. So what do you think for Virgo
Yeah.
risings?
So at first, like 11th house is a very optimistic and positive house in general. So they will kind of work for their ideals and goals. So they will be pretty active. Some of them might even do activism. So they might join groups of protests and activism. Then overall they will work hard for their goals. So there will be some action, there will be some advancement in their lives, and they will also feel very motivated to change things. Then in social circles, there might also be some type of action, some type of feud with friends with Mars in the 11th. Negatively, it might be about that.
Mm.
And when Mars gets to the 12th house, actually, it will be the time for some relaxation or some holiday for them because they will be so social, so like active, doing things, and they will work hard with Mars in the 11th house. But when Mars goes to
Mhm.
the 12th house, they will say, okay, now I need to recharge, I need to isolate myself a little bit.
Mm.
So I need to boost myself like in a kind of creative way, enthusiastic way, and then I will go back. So they will make use of that 12 hours energy in a good way, I believe.
Yeah, because Virgo risings, Virgos have this anxiety in them anyway. So, feeling this anxiety, you want to do this, you want to do that. I think it's very good that I have like this break when everybody's going chaotic and they need to actually do opposite of others and don't go to parties too much and just spend some time with themselves to regain recharge. I like that. I like that really
Yeah,
much. Recharge the batteries. I'm Virgo risings and I can't wait because I've
yeah,
been doing so many things, but I love it.
yeah.
I
You
love it.
love it.
Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah, I might need a break. You're right. That is true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For the so friendships are gonna be so tested again. So it's like a really test of friendships. Which ones will survive? Which ones will not? So yeah, pay attention to that. And I think by with the 11th house of our dreams and wishes for the future, we might we sometimes want that future to be now. So understanding that it's not, that we need to time needs to pass to actually you put the work, but it's not, the results are not yet here.
yeah.
So excellent. Libras rising. So that's in their 10th house and
Mhm.
11th. So it's always the angles when the angles are hit with something like this, it's more, right, more seen, more active, more events will come externally.
Yeah, exactly. The midheaven will be activated, especially like 10th house will be activated. So for this, what they do will be visible to people. So they will again be out there, and they will be out there in their professional life and socially as well. So this might cause some again frustration, irritation in their work environment. Then they might also feel kind of blocked. So they might feel that glass ceiling. So they want to do something, but something is blocking them, especially when Mars goes retrograde. So they will focus
Mm.
on their career goals and career plannings. And there might also be some type of argument or frustration with women in career, as they have Cancer in the fourth
Mhm.
house, Cancer in the 10th house.
Mhm.
So, yeah, the main theme, I believe, will be how they get what they want in their career. So, then it will also go to the 11th house in Leo. So, that might be about some type of extra. Extra income based on their career because 11th house is the
Mm.
second house from the 10th house. So it also shows how much we earn from our
Yeah.
jobs. So their income might increase. But again, Mars will go back to Cancer. So it will tell them to look into everything again. So,
Mm.
so they will learn that. How they will learn that persistent energy. They will see that persistent energy. They need to acquire that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And 10th house is also about your bosses and managers. If you work for somebody, so they as you mentioned, with females because it's it's Cancer. But then in general, it can be a lot of authority, fighting with authorities. So make sure that if you want to actually uh, get a promotion or something, you won't get it by fighting this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it can be, as you mentioned, Mars in Cancer can be about fighting for others. You might, get into a fight for somebody else at the office or in the workplace just because you want to, stand up for them, but then, it won't go as you wished. So with this energy, it can be, yeah, it won't go as fast as you want. And, you need some time. Just frustration, I feel that's going to be a lot because when you have career, when you have public image, when you have the first 10, 7, and fourth house are very out there, you want to be seen and shown and see the results. Yeah, okay. So Libras, yeah, this it's been tough for Libras. I think they can't wait for the nodes to switch to to Pisces and Virgo. It's been tough for the last year and a half for them for sure
Yeah.
with South Node there. So yeah, I think this is the final. This Mars retrograde in their 10 houses, I think, is the last drop. And then I think it's going to be much better for them later. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay, so we have Scorpios, and they're also ruled by Mars traditionally. So it's in their
Exactly.
ninth house. Ninth house.
Yeah. So they will also feel that retrograde personally. So this will be related to their like qualifications, like their like educational background, or like ninth house is a pretty intellectual house. So they might kind of be more focused on how to develop themselves further, how to make difference, or how to gain more skills and qualifications. And if they are students, for example, if they are in academia, they should kind of be careful with their professors or teachers, like with their relationship and communication with them, because ninth house will be about that. And it can also be about traveling. So they might travel to places that they have always wanted to travel. So they might say that nothing can stop me now, I will travel. So that can be about it. So it will be in the ninth house, and then it will move into the 10th house, Mars. Yeah, I'm right, 10th house.
Yeah, yeah.
So that will be about that. That will be the time when they think how to make use of their qualifications and skills in their career. So how to make a difference in their professional field by internalizing and expressing all their knowledge and experience. So that can be about that, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, for traveling, I would just want to add that if you travel during Mars retrograde through your ninth house, make sure your passport is correct, that your tickets, just double check. It's going to be like a little bit like a Mercury retrograde for them in that sense. And, just watch out if you travel, there might be some. Anyway, I would just watch out. I won't say anything else, but just watch out if you travel and make sure that everything is in order. And yeah, so don't argue with people, like what are you doing, or or something. Yeah, the Leo part should be quite interesting for them. I feel that that month in Leo should give them a little bit of more confidence at workplace. So I like that part. So
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I think it's also interesting that for Scorpios risings, they have a modern ruler, Pluto, also retrograded. And so they're going to have Mars and Pluto retrograde at the same time. So both of their rulers. So they're going to have like a double energy to slow down. So they will really need to kind of really make sure that they don't rush into things and think twice before they actually act. Yeah, that's good for,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we have
That's very,
Sagittarius.
yeah,
Sagittarius. So it's eighth house and ninth
yeah.
house. So eighth house is also a heavy house. So what do you say?
Yeah, it is. But Mars is powerful in the eighth house. It is the
Mm,
natural house of Mars. So there will be some advantages when it comes to investments and money management. And that will also boost their intuition, like in a mystical or psychic way. And it can also be about intimacy or sexual energy. So that will also be affected in a positive way, I believe. But Mars in the eighth might make them more ambitious. So They will be aware of their motivations. They will be aware of their strategies. Then
Mm.
negatively, it can be about some surgeries. So Mars and 8 house are also related to surgeries. So for that, as Mars will go back and forth, so if they need to have a surgery, of course they should have that. But the healing time, like during the healing process, they should be careful because
Mm.
like they should obey everything that their doctor tells them to do. So that will be important
Mm.
if they have a health problem.
Yeah, their sexual energies you mentioned, they're gonna it's gonna be highlighted a lot, and yeah, that's interesting. Actually, it can be very good for for Sagittarius risings.
Yeah,
They can use this very well. I think they might have more enjoy and pleasure in the intimacy department.
e- exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, they should maybe use this opportunity when it's in Leo to actually travel, maybe a little bit because they like to travel. So going away for New Year's or something, that could be a good idea for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, surgeries. Yeah, you mentioned everything. Very good. Yeah. Oh, also, I'm a finance person. There are taxes and other stuff there as well. So you might get some refunds from the government, some tax refunds and stuff like that. That might happen, or getting some money, even inheritances. I think when Mars is in the eighth, right? You can get inheritance or some kind of money from other people, for sure. If you apply for grants or something, that can also be a good idea.
definitely.
Yeah, good. Um, what else? Oh yeah, so we have Capricorns.
Yeah,
That's also important because it's opposing their sun and everything. So it's in their seventh house of relationships. What do you say about
yeah,
Capricorns?
exactly.
Mm,
So that will feel like a bit like a Mercury retrograde with Mars in their seventh house. So there might be a connection with
mhm.
some ex-partners, or whether romantic or professional.
Mm,
So they might kind of deal with the unfinished business. So like if they need to let something out, they will let it out to their partners or ex-partners. So in their current relationship or marriage, there will be action. So there might also be frustration. So for
mm,
that, like it will be better for them to do something, do some activity with their partners, because they should direct this energy into some action. So if they like stay at home all day, and they will eventually argue with each other. So because the relationships will be tense, and your partner might irritate you more than ever, maybe at some point. And then exactly. Also, seventh house shows the life of our partners. So there might
mhm.
be some action in the life of our partner as well. Maybe not in us.
Yeah, it's about also if you have your own business, about your clients. So you might have some clients you might not like or something happening. So maybe make sure that that you have the communication is clear, because it can really, there's nothing worse than having, like, if you have your own business and then your clients, and there's resentment or there's some kind of fighting, it's a bad reputation for you anyway. So yeah, so also when it goes into Leo, that one little month in Leo, it might be actually something that, as you mentioned, might happen through partner's money, right? So there might be some kind of things happening, and maybe your partner will get some money or something while it's in Leo. So it's going to be all about your partners, and it's sometimes hard. I know for Capricorn's risings, it's hard not to be on top and putting their partner, because it's going to be more action with their partners than with them. So yeah, I hope that it works all out for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Aquarius. So it's in the sixth house.
Oh, so Mars can cause some type of burnout in the sixth house, because sixth house shows our daily life. So they in daily life they will be so
Mm,
busy, like doing things for their family, their children, their friends, and like people at work. So they will be busy themselves, and they will also be busy helping others. So for that,
mm,
eventually this might cause a burnout. So they should be careful with that, and they should also be careful how they use their emotional like energy, let's say, their empathy. So they might have some type of burnout due to like empathy feelings and this type of things, or anger at the same time. So emotions will kind of consume their energy for a long time. And they should also be careful with health and diet, as Mars in Cancer might be about food. So they might kind of discover that they are allergic to some type of food. So there's some type of, I don't know, products for their health. So it can be about that as well. Um, yeah, I think that might be about this for uh, Aquarius risings.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that the especially the diet and the digestion that you mentioned, it's the sixth house, right? It's a Virgo house anyway, and the Mars is coming there in Cancer. So food can be really highlighted. Is topic of food, diet, and how you what you put in your body. I think it's going to be number one. Absolutely, yeah, it's very important. Leo portion is going to be about having fun with your partner. So make sure that in December, while Mars is in Leo, that little month, so you actually do have some fun with your partner, because I think you're going to need it, because I think some restrictions about your everyday life, like your everyday life won't go as smoothly as you would want it to, and routine is going to be disrupted with this Mars, literally. So some change in routine might be required. So I think that when it's in Leo, you should use it well to have some fun, because I think you're going to need it to recharge you, actually, to kind of boost yourself for when Mars goes back to Cancer. Okay,
Exactly.
perfect. And then, not the least, but not the
Yes,
last
exactly.
not the least, last not the least, Pisces. I know you
I
always like to give Pisces a special treatment. So I'm kind of, after you told me that, I'm also very, very mindful of Pisces.
exactly.
Yeah. So this is going to happen in their fifth house. That's
Six
a beautiful
hands.
house. But what's going to happen?
Okay. Okay, so they're kind of luckier, so they will love that Mars in the fifth house. So if they are single, there will be lots of flirting. So they will kind of have fun, and then their sexual energy will also be pretty high, and or they will want to flirt and mingle and so on. So that will also make them focus on their hobbies and what they want to do, how they have joy. They might be more focused on their entertainment. And if they want to have a child, for example, it might be the time for conception, or it might be the time for pregnancy, like when Mars transit in the fifth house. And if they already have children, so they might be more focused on their children. So maybe they take their children to sports classes, or maybe they need to do things together with their child. So children will also be a theme. But overall, fifth house is a fun house. So they just need to be careful with gambling addictions, with fifth house Pisces and Cancer energy, like Pisces risings. Yeah, that's all I can say for the fifth house now.
Yeah, I was just thinking when you were talking, it's all about dating. So you get all the dating apps activated for you, and then I'm thinking, dating is also a gamble. So instead of gambling with money, you can just gamble with people.
Yes,
Just
definitely.
put yourself out there and do more dating, because you're gonna find some joy and fun in that. That's what I feel. Uh,
Exactly.
Also, of course, there might be some arguments with kids, if you have kids, or some arguments with potential, these dating people that you're going to do. But overall, very creative. If you put that energy into something creative, it's going to be beautiful. I think because Pisces rises, you are already, your imagination is already highlighted. You are very good with that. So putting that imagination into something creative, it can be really, really nice. Sports, it's a sports house, as you mentioned. So do any physical activity. It's also about sports, so that would be good. Yeah, and when it's going to go into Leo in December, so it's going to be in the sixth house. So what is going to be highlighted? Uh, Leo and everyday, they can actually, in their everyday work environment, they can shine. They can show there's a bit more confident. What do you feel?
Yeah, exactly. They will like learn how to integrate fun into their daily life. So how to enjoy their routine, and then like at work, maybe for December, so they might have to deal with some anger or uh, arrogant people, let's say. So arrogance might be a theme in their workplace. So when Mars goes back in Leo, but overall with that sixth house
Mm.
energy with Mars in Leo, so they will try to integrate themselves. They will try to like form a routine that they will feel comfortable and they can express freely.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Excellent. So we went through everything. Guys, I hope this was helpful. It's very interesting. We're going to spend a lot of time with this energy. We're going to really learn it. You know, last time we had Mars retrograde, it was in Gemini. It was, oh, anyway, I learned a lot. It was all over
Yeah.
my planets. So it's a great opportunity to kind of embrace that part of our charts of our lives, and spend more time with that area. Like it's kind of like going to be highlighted, right? It's going to be more out there. In general, what I like is that it's going to trine Saturn in a couple of occasions, right? So that's going to be, I think, beautiful. Mars trine Saturn
Mhm.
is always giving us focus and discipline and actually to do things. So I think that's good. But what do you think about oppositions with Pluto? It's going to have three oppositions with Pluto. Just in general, what do you feel?
Yeah, that will be the times of like let's say ambition and Mars
Hmm.
opposite Pluto. So that will be the time of like trying to fight with what blocks you, what makes you feel blocked. So globally, at the same time, it might maybe unfortunately about some violent themes with Mars opposite Pluto, like attacks, rebellions, or this type of
Mm.
things. Like like in like I forgot the word. Okay, so yeah, that can be about some violent themes socially, but personally, it will be about some motivation, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yes, it's gonna. I always feel that Pluto Mars combinations can be about research, about digging deep. It's literally going secrets might come out as well, just because it's you're gonna find some kind of information. So yeah, in general, I hope this is it. Do you have anything to add, Matt, before we close this chat?
uh, and just for Mars Pluto opposition, so that
Mm-hmm.
can also be more important for Scorpios because these two rule
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio. So when Mars and Pluto oppose each other, Scorpio risings can watch out more. So that's the only thing that I want to add.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and with Saturn in the game, Saturn is in Pisces, when it trines Mars. It's actually going to be extra good for Pisces. I think. I know that Pisces don't like Saturn in their sign, but I think it's going to help. I think the Mars is going to help their Saturn. So, they don't like all these restrictions. They like to be free, Pisces. But I think this Mars will actually help them with that. So, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So cardinal signs, be alert. It's it's time for you to do some things and make new beginnings. Excellent. Thank you very much, Matt. Before we close, tell people where can everybody find you. What are you doing? Do you have anything coming up, or is there anything
Yeah.
happening?
Okay, thank you. So they can find me on Instagram, uranian.astrologer.mat with double T. And they can also find me on YouTube. I also do some like series
Mhm.
or panels on YouTube. So that will be interesting for them. And I have two classes coming up. So for modern astrology, it will start this week. And Uranian astrology started last Sunday, but if they want to join, they can still join if they would like to. Yeah, so these are the things that I do for these days.
Yes. And I have highly recommend both of Matt's classes. I've been through both. I took both of them. It took 2 years. It was so much fun. I still miss it. It was every Sunday just to see each other. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, I'm going to put all the dates below and Matt's information in the description. If you have any comments, please be free. I'm also available for readings, and you can find me Jasmina Brazovic Astrology everywhere. Thank you again, Matt, and I hope to see one of your panels soon. I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, definitely.
Bye.
Bye.